Hey, how's it going? In this video, I'm going to show you how to browse the Kindle store and how to find categories inside the Kindle store for books that are actually selling really well. And that's pretty much what our report is going to be about. All the categories where books are selling really, really well. So, what you have here is you go to the Amazon, you go to Amazon.com. Amazon has sells all kinds of things, including electronic books and paperback, hardback, physical copy books. We're going to be browsing the Kindle store and the bestseller list in order to see which books are selling the most, and then we're going to be adding them to a list for ourselves a product. So first thing you do is you come into type in Amazon.com, you go to shop by department, you come down to books and Audible right here, and then you go over to Kindle eBooks and you select that. Now under Kindle eBooks, what we're going to do is just scroll down and we're going to hit the Kindle bestseller list on the left hand side here. From here, and for our purposes of this report, we're only going to be going through the nonfiction category. But just so that you're aware, the categories here are all or basically what this list does is shows you all the top selling books for each of these categories. So if it's art or photography book, they'll show you if you click on that, it'll show you the top categories, so forth and so on. And so what our process is going to be is one where we're going to go in through, we're only going to be worried right now with this particular category, this nonfiction category. So we're going to click on that. And under nonfiction, you get a bunch of other children under here. And so what we're going to do is browse these categories and see which ones actually have books that are selling and add them to our report. So let's get started. So I'm going to go into arts and photography, and I already know I already have an example picked out, so I'm just going to flow through that example and show you what we're looking for. So if we go to arts and photography, and you notice under arts and photography, now we have a few more children. They're grandchildren to arts and photography, but children to the children to arts and photography. What we're going to do is we're just going to click on the first one and go to, oh, actually, no, I apologize. Under arts and photography, the first thing you're going to do when you come to an actual category and you're looking at it at the high level from the nonfiction category that I just showed you, and I'll do that one more time. You see we're under nonfiction, click on arts and photography. Once you hit that category, scroll to the bottom of the screen and you're going to see here number 20. This is number 20 on the top 100. You're going to right click, and I usually just open up in a new window just so it comes right up in front of me. And now we're going to go, this opens up the page, the actual link to the book on the page in a new window, and you're going to scroll down to the Amazon bestseller ranking, and what you're looking to see is if this number is higher than 12,999. If it's higher than if it's lower. So if it's lower than 12,999, then that's a really good thing. If it's higher than that, then we don't want that guy. So in this instance, what this is telling us is that this book, the lower the ranking in the Amazon bestseller ranking, the lower the ranking, the better the book is selling. So if you're number one, if this number were number one, that means the book will be outselling everything in the entire store. And right now, it's selling actually pretty well. It sells several copies a day, which is great of this particular book. So what this tells us is that this parent category of arts and photography might be a decent category to explore, right? And so, And so what that means is that, okay, so now this is where you can take the next step and go and start exploring the children. If you were to actually pull this up, arts and photography, and you went to the 20th, number 20, and this book was number 50,000 in the paid store when you looked at the sales ranking, we would totally skip this guy, and we wouldn't do I'll show you how to actually do it, but basically we would add him to a list and then just keep moving. We would never even explore these children, because what it means is that if this is the top 100 for the parent category, which is a summary of all these children categories, if their top 20 book is selling at the 50,000 ranking, that means that all the children are going to be much lower. In other words, they're going to be higher in the sales ranking, meaning that the numbers will be like 50,000 plus in the sales ranking in addition to, you know, everything else. So it can go as, you know, as high as like 100,000, which means the books probably have never sold a copy. So we don't want to even explore those. So what we're going to do here, so since we did find something really good here, we saw that it was in the 3,000 on the 20, number 20, we're going to click on architecture. And under architecture, we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to scroll to number 20. We're going to open up in a new window just so we can see that sales ranking. And we see that this is number 65295. That's not good. So now we know that while the parent category is doing well, all the children under it, which is pretty much where you can get the specifics in terms of what topics people are buying, what topics are under there. That's really where all the information lies. You want to make sure that that's selling. So this one actually isn't selling. So what we'd actually do, so we're going to come over to this Hot Kindle Niches spreadsheet, and we're going to click on the low selling niches. So anytime you find a niche that is not selling, so if you were at the parent category of architecture, and architecture had like the number 20th book was 50,000, you'd immediately put this on this, put it on this list. Since it didn't have that, we explored it a little bit more, went a little bit further down to the first child category, and found that first child is not selling well. So that doesn't mean that the rest of the children are bad, but it definitely means that that child is not a good one. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to type in, and we make sure we get this right, nonfiction, and we're just going to put a little bracket there. We're going to make sure that we have it lined up with where we're at, so we know that we're inside of arts and photography. So we're going to type in arts and photography, another one, and then we're going to go down to architecture. Go down to architecture. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do is grab this link. So we're going to this is a link to where we are right now. So just copy this and come inside of here, and we're going to add a link. And boom. So now whenever we want to go back and look at this, we'll get the link, and it'll take us right to exactly where we were at, which is perfect. So from here, the next thing we're going to do is fill out these two boxes, the Amazon bestseller rank of the number 1 book and the 20th book, because we want to make sure that when we go through this, so that we have an accounting of what was done and why we skip things, we'll have it here. So you just go down, same thing you did before, just grab number 20 on the architecture list. Grab that number minus the pound sign. You want to exclude this and just grab what's highlighted here. Copy that. Bring it over here. Sorry, that's the 20th book. I put it in the wrong spot. And then close that guy out. You can do this in any order. You can do first to last, last first, whatever. Either way, so long as we just grab everything. And you see that this is actually number 2,000, which is actually not that bad, but you see that the other things in that category are not doing very well. So although the first thing in the category is doing well, chances are something else in the middle is probably at the 30,000 mark. And once you get down once you get that high, it's not a good thing to write about, which basically means that people aren't buying the books. So you don't want to write about a topic no one wants to buy, even if other people are doing it. So we're going to close that out. Even though the books exist, I should say. So that's how we got this guy here. And again, if we had gone to arts and photography and gotten that low number of 65,000 when we looked at this one right here, this 20th book, we would have never gone any further. We would have added it to the niche report. It simply would have looked like nonfiction, arts and photography, and that would have been the end of it. You put the sales rankings here, so that way we know that there's really no reason why you would have gone any further, and that makes perfect sense. So let's check out something that actually does perform pretty well. And I'll give you a good example of that. Oops, why did I go past that? Okay. So what I notice is that if you go into nonfiction, once you go down into nonfiction and you start clicking on these categories, they're very similar to the ones that are out here. They're just grouped under nonfiction versus like literature and fiction. But this is just a safer way to go. So go under nonfiction. We're going to skip biographies and memoirs because I already know that while this category may sell well, it's very difficult to write for because we're going to be outsourcing our writing and that sort of thing. And memoirs has to be your own thing. You know, you have to write your own memoir. And biographies are usually written by people that either know you, have done a lot of research, that sort of thing. It's not that it's impossible to do, but it's just not part of our strategy. So we're just going to go right down to business and investing. And under business and investing, I already have prior knowledge that these two categories are not good. So what you could actually do is go into accounting. We're still going to pull business and accounting and biography, pull the numbers like I just showed you a second ago, meaning like pull the sales ranking for the first and 20th book from these categories, these categories, and then move on to business life that I'm going to show you, which is actually doing very well. So you're going to come down into business life. And again, I already know that ethics and etiquette actually don't do very well. Mentoring and coaching doesn't do very well. It does okay, but it doesn't do very well either. So these three, along with the other two, accounting and biography history, are both going to go on that list here, the low selling niches list. So you're going to add them here. And I'm just telling you this so that it's clear. And then ethics, etiquette, and mentoring and coaching are both still going to add to this list the same way, because I've kind of already done that research, but I'll let you do it just so that you have a good understanding of it. But we're going to go immediately into motivation and self-improvement. And now I'm going to scroll to the bottom and check out the number 20th book. And I see that this is under $12,999. It's at $10,000, which is perfect. So that means that this category is awesome. It doesn't have any additional children. If it had more children, let's say if under self-motivation and self-improvement, there was another list that was indented and it was more children, we go into those and check those guys out. Because we want to know at the lowest level what's actually happening. If the high level is doing well, we drill down. If it's not, we never drill down. As we drill down into the lower levels, that from a high level that's doing very well, that's under $12,999, we want to get to that lowest level and check off, like we're doing here. We're checking off to see which one of these guys are good to go into, and we found one here. So what you would do is the same thing. You come over here, you go into high selling niches, and if you want it, you could just copy the beginning. Well, actually, it's a little bit difficult. So just type in nonfiction. This is the naming convention we're going to be using. You're going to go into business and money. Another caret. We know we're under business life. And we're going to go into motivation. And let's see what this in self-improvement. Okay. In self-improvement. I'm spelling that wrong. Improvement. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to grab number 20. I'll grab number 1 since I'm already up here. Open it in a new window. Scroll down. Book's doing pretty well. Grab number 20. Open a new window. And again, since this is under $12,999, we're good to go. We can grab that and we can soldier on. And then, oops. Okay, I grabbed the wrong thing. Don't do like I did. Grab this number. Okay, perfect. Okay. And so that's how to browse categories in Kindle and find high selling niches. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to fill out another report, which is our Research Autopilot report, where you're going to take these categories that you've assembled here in the high selling niches list, and we're going to get some more sales data by using a tool called Kindle Trends. I'll give you login information and everything for that. Kindle Trends and, again, the Amazon store to get the rest of the numbers that we need. So I'll see you in the next video.